Hey y'all, hey, it's Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Come on in, come on in. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Yes, I took a long weekend of relaxation, okay, replenishing myself mentally and physically. I didn't even work out yesterday. Normally, Sundays are my day one workout, but I didn't. I didn't work out yesterday, and yesterday was Monday. I didn't work out Sunday, nor did I work out yesterday. So I missed 2 days. And I had missed one day from last week. So I was 3 days behind in my workout. And you know what? At first, I was struggling with the guilt of it all, right? Because the one thing about me is if I lay around the house, I start saying to myself, you're supposed to get up, you're supposed to do something. There needs to be something to get done. Oh, good almost afternoon, right? um You're supposed to be up doing something else. And so I had to really talk myself off the shelf and be like, it's okay for you to do absolutely nothing. And so Sunday and Monday, I really didn't do much of anything. I mean, I did some light cleaning, steaming of floors and stuff like that, but I didn't put pressure on myself to accomplish anything major. Right. And it felt good to just disconnect and just be and just do whatever you wanted to do. So that's what I did. But this morning, unfortunately, after you know, not work out for 3 days, I'm talking about myself, getting back into it. Good morning, Cheryl. Sometimes you have to talk yourself into it, right? Because, habitually, when you're doing it constantly, it's like you get up in the morning, you have this routine and you go. This morning, I was like, you know what? I had to have a conversation with myself. I was like, you know what? You have not worked out. Do something with yourself. Okay. And so I did something with myself. Winter has that effect. I know. I can't wait for spring. I've really been good throughout the whole winter with my commitment to working out. And so I'm proud of myself because winter does have that effect. And normally in the wintertime, that's when I'm my chunkiest. I'm my chunky self in the winter because I'm sitting around, I'm snacking. I don't want to work out. But this winter I did really, really good. That's the Capricorn energy. I did really, really good. So this morning I got up, I did my workout routine, and I felt good about it. All right. Also this morning, because y'all heard about that other airplane, the Delta flight that flipped upside down on the tarmac. What is happening? Like, I heard Trump fired more FAA associates. Is that true? And all of this news comes at such a bad time because here I am about to go to Jamaica next week. Okay. And so this morning, Maria and I were chatting back and forth, and Maria was like, I think I'm gonna cancel the trip and rebook it when things calm down. And I was like, okay, because like a part of me is nervous, and a part of me is fighting against that fear, and it's like I want to go anyway. And so when she said she was going to cancel, I was okay with it. Right? I wasn't highly disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed, not in the fact that she was canceling, but in the fact that all these things are happening in our world today that's causing us to hesitate on what we want to do. Right? And long story short, she went to cancel a trip and they were like, no, you needed to cancel it by last week in order for you to get a refund. So we got to go. Right. And so my suitcase is sitting on the floor with a whole bunch of stuff piled on top of it. Just pray for us, y'all. Pray for our safe travel there and back. Okay. This is the best we could do. All right. And so I am heading out to Jamaica next week. And then in April, I will be heading to Grenada. And I hope at least by April, they get this FAA employment thing in order because this is ridiculous. It's going to impact how people travel. Not only that, last week I saw circulating on social media a week ago or 2 weeks ago that a train track exploded in Brooklyn. I don't know if it was a transformer or something. They said sometimes when the snow, the ice on the track or something, I don't know. But the train track exploded, right? They didn't say a train was coming through. They didn't report any injuries and stuff like that. And it just makes me think how our infrastructure in this country is so in question. Because wasn't it just a year or so ago that the boats hit the bridges, right? That was another thing, right? The two separate incidences where boats hit the bridges. And I'm like, never in my lifetime have I heard of that. Not that it hasn't happened, but because of the presence of social media the way it is, we get all the information pouring in, all the information. Sometimes it's good to have access to all the information, and sometimes it's not, right? And so there go people saying, "Oh, I'm not going to get on a boat." And then when the pandemic was in flight, and cruise ships were being left in the middle of the ocean because people had COVID, people said, I'm never going to take a cruise again, right? All these things that are happening in our world over these last several years can cause somebody to be a hermit. It really, really can, right? It can cause people to be a hermit because we can't drive everywhere, right? Terror cells. I don't doubt it. It's just really weird. But how did the plane flip upside down? That's the part I don't understand. At least all the passengers survived, but how the fuck the plane end upside down? We just gonna have to pray. Okay. But today is February 18th, and we are still in the month of love. What did you guys do over this long weekend? You know, I'm still laughing at the protesters, the people that want to protest on Facebook, right? February 28th is supposed to be the day that they're saying do not shop from midnight until midnight the next day, right? So you're not supposed to buy anything the whole day on the 28th, right? Not shop, not anything, right? And so these people are protesting against businesses because of the DEI thing, and they want America to know that minority dollars matter. Okay, I think that it's okay, right, for those that participate in that. It's just that sometimes I scratch my head at all of the arguments that I see on social media about protesting and fighting back for our rights, but yet they are protesting and communicating on a platform that was one of the first to drop DEI. See, that's what makes it laughable for me, because people are talking about don't go to Target, don't go to Walmart, don't go to Aldi, don't shop, don't spend your money, don't order anything from Amazon. But you're telling us all of this on Facebook. One of the first companies to get rid of DEI, right? And so when I look at this and I say, you're telling me this on Facebook, you're telling me this on IG, you're telling me this on X, Twitter, all three platforms owned by Metaverse or whatever the fuck, all three do not support DEI, but yet here we are, right? And then it amazes me how people get mad at other people for going into Target, right? I'm gonna go into Target, so somebody gonna be mad at me, because until you stop telling me what to do on Facebook, okay, which is a platform that does not support you, that does not support DEI, not you specifically, um, then what are you fucking saying, right? When I posted about Google removing Black History Month from their calendar, everybody went quiet, because what you gonna do, right? And then Stacy from the show posted a comment on Facebook indicating about the same thing I just said. And somebody responded that they deleted their Google and they're going to try to figure everything else out. So you deleted your Google from your phone? But what does that mean for the Android users who use Google as their storage? All their pictures, you know? What you gonna do? See, I think this is what makes my ass itch when people are fighting amongst each other about the stuff that you don't want to support, right? I feel like you as an individual can decide what it is you don't want to support. But it makes my ass itch when people are arguing on Facebook, a platform that does not support DEI, about boycotting places because they don't have DEI. It's hilarious. Okay. So people, think about what you're saying when you're posting shit. That's all I'm saying. Think about what it is you're saying. And then I want you to really think hard and think about all the other companies that you haven't mentioned, because just FYI, when DEI was implemented about 5 years ago, not every company picked up DEI. So did you boycott those companies for not picking up DEI? Or it didn't matter until the companies that have DEI decided to drop it? I just be asking questions. Okay, you're dropping your Amazon Prime account. Okay. So you won't have the Amazon movie channel. That's understandable. And that's okay. People drop what works for them. Shirley said, okay, Hillbilly replanned my daughter's trip to DC in June. Okay. Shirley said, I agree with you, Roy. You can't live in fear. Just be mindful and prepared. Yes, as prepared as I can be. Right? As prepared as I can be. You know. I know it's late today. So we're going to get into the morning vibes and start out with that. All right. February 18th. Okay. I will know love when I realize I have to see the love that is present right now. What does that mean to you? I have to see the love that is present right now. What does that mean? Have you confused loving someone with wanting to be in a loving relationship with them? Oh my God. We are missing a population of people on here because I know it's 11:40 in the morning. And normally I'm on way before this, or I don't come on, but I wanted to come on today because the message is so good. Okay. I have to see the love that is present right now. And I'm sorry that some people are not on here to get this message. Hopefully people will listen to it after the live. Okay. Have you confused loving someone with wanting to be in a loving relationship with them? Have you confused caring about someone with wanting to be around them all the time? Have you confused having needs and desires with needing to have those desires fulfilled? Chances are, if you have confused any of these things, you may not know it. It is perfectly natural and normal for a human being to want the companionship of another human being. We want to be held and heard, honored and respected, cherished and valued by someone. You can have these things in your life in one form or another. But if they are not tied up in the bow of intimate, loving relationship, you may wonder why nobody wants to be in a relationship with you. We get confused about the relationship, what the relationship is, and what it says about us. We confuse the need for loving care and concern with our desire to be in an intimate union. We also confuse a good, loving, platonic relationship with some of the form of rejection. To be in a relationship is a choice. Human beings have a right to choose to be or not to be in a relationship. What they choose may have nothing to do with you. I know this may be a little hard for you to swallow. It may also be confusing. I offer you this. Cool out on the demand to be in an intimate, loving relationship. Open your eyes to the love in the relationships you have right now. Until today, you may have been confused about the people who choose not to have an intimate relationship with you. Just for today, be devoted to embracing the love, support, and comfort you receive in the relationships you have with the family, friends, and coworkers. Today, I'm devoted to embracing and acknowledging the love I receive in all of my relationships. What do you think about that message? Everyone needs proof every now and then, even in things that are already established. What do you mean by that, Hillbilly? I love that. I know I do. I know I do. I believe in check-ins, like in relationships, like every couple of months, check in. Are you happy? Is there something about me that you have noticed that you feel is bothersome in the relationship? What are some areas, you know, you feel need work? And you both should be asking those questions, right? I believe in doing check-ins. I didn't believe that in all my other relationships, but that's something that I learned through my healing process, right? To ensure that the love shows up in the current relationship that I have. Know that I have the love in my current relationships, and I feed that. Okay. And I do a check in on that just to make sure that we are on the same page. If there's something that's bothering us that, life got too busy for us to discuss, I try to do a check in every couple of months to say, hey, what's up? You good? We good? Is there anything, you want to discuss? Something like that, because sometimes people will keep things inside. Do a check. You say I love you at the wedding. That doesn't mean you don't have to say it or need to hear it every so often. Baby, thank you, Hillbilly. And I'm such a sissy for it. I am a sissy for it. Like, I need to know you love me. Like, I need to know it in your actions. And I love to hear it in your words every now and again. You know what I'm saying? That's big for me. Some people be like, I don't need to, you just need to know it. You don't need to hear it all the time. No, I don't need to hear it every single day, every 5 minutes of the day. But every now and again, I want to hear, I love you. Shit, I love you. Right? And so in my current relationship, I make it a practice to do a check-in. And I make it known that I want to know you love me verbally. And if you don't, I want to know that too. Because then I can decide where I'm going with the relationship. You understand what I mean? This is how you keep the lines of communication open in your relationship. You do check-ins. Okay? Make sure you both are on the same page. Make sure you both want the same things. I be scared when I do check-ins because I be like, okay, here how the fuck I go. So where you think we at? Where you think we going? How do you feel about me at this point? These are important questions. Hard as hell. They were hard as hell for me to ask. And these conversations was hard as hell for me to implement because I do have abandonment issues, right? And so I be thinking as soon as I say some shit, this motherfucker gonna be like, But I've learned that in order for me to get the love that I deserve and to continue to give the love that I want to give, that I have to do check-ins no matter how hard it is. And I have to hear the other person's truth at the same time, right? And then deal with that as we go. Right, Shirley? That's exactly right. That's how you grow together, by checking in. But how many people you think check in every couple of months? I find that when I'm talking to friends and their relationships are on the rocks, they be talking about shit And I find myself going, y'all ever talk about that? You ever told him that? You ever told her that? Did you ever say that's what you want? Did you ever tell him that that's what you need? And I'm telling you, when I have these conversations with people, some people come back and be like, why should I have to tell them? They should already know. No, the fuck they shouldn't. We are not mind readers. If there is something you're not getting out of your relationship and you have not taken proactive measures to speak on it, then you are accountable for not getting what you want. Right? We're not just supposed to automatically know. Communication is key. So do them damn check-ins, okay? I don't care how long you've been together, how long you've been married. Do check-ins. And one of the most important questions for me at this point in my life is because, of course, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I could have dated you for 10 years. Right. But at 58, I'm not dating anybody for 10 years without understanding where we are going. I'm not blindly being in relationships, just tethering along, right? Without direction. Not at 58, I'm not. I need to know how you feel about this relationship. Do you see this relationship as future growth? Where do you see us? If you don't see us, then RAW will start making her exit, because at 58, there's no way I could waste 10 years just trying to get to know somebody, right? I give motherfuckers, I say 5 good years at this stage in the game of my life. And then some people, they only given 6 months or a year. But I say 5 good years, right? After 5 years, and I know I try not to put a timeline on stuff, but again, I'm being realistic. Okay, at 58, what the fuck? I still want to live my life with my significant other with some damn energy. And so, and I'm not starting from now talking about 5 years. Okay, I've been in my relationship for a while, dating and then getting closer and then established a relationship. But I count all them 3 years, okay? I start talking about what we doing. Where we going? Is there a future? Is there not a future? And in year 3, if the man or the woman that I'm with tells me that there's no future, what the fuck am I going to hang around for? If I'm looking for a future with somebody. See, that's how we make our mistake. Okay? Lines of communication, keep them open. Do your check-ins. And don't just leave I love you at the wedding chapel, okay? And don't just say I love you when you're fucking either, because those I love yous, well, it depends. As long as they're consistent after the fucking as well. The fuck? Because I love a good sweet talk in the middle of the action. I'm just saying. So, Cheryl Lee, I saw something that was floating around social media that said with all these federal layoffs, or I guess packaged out federal employees, the housing market has decreased in DC and the housing prices are lower. So it seems like for those that are looking into purchasing homes, if that's true, this might be a good time to do that. What are your feelings on the federal buyout? What would make you take a federal buyout at this point in your life? I think the mandate was Federal employees had to come back into the office physically, right? And then they were offered a buyout. What do you think about this buyout? See, for me, if I was in my 20s and 30s, I don't know if I would have took the buyout. I don't know if I would have took it. Me being 58, I might have taken the buyout, right? Because at that point, I'm close to collecting my monies. And so I would be okay with that. With Trump sends Doji into Fort Knox, it could be devastating. In what way, Hillbilly? In which way? How? Some people on my timeline are praising Doji. They're like, yeah, find all the stolen money. Find all the stolen money. Some people are really praising Elon Musk for finding the misuse of money in the federal funds. But all of the stuff he's claiming, like the people collecting Social Security, the transgender experiments, hormones on dogs. I didn't see any proof of this stuff happening. I do see it circulating around social media that these are the things that they found in the federal funding. But how true is it? Like, I don't know. Like, people are out there like, oh, they had all these millions of dollars set aside for hormonal treatment for dogs, right? For transgender or whatever for dogs. And I'm like, who the fuck even approves a program for gender assignment for dogs? Like, that whole shit sound crazy to me. And when they said people that are 150 years old collecting Social Security, someone responded and said Social Security wasn't even around 150 years ago. So where is this information coming from? And how true is it? Nobody has been in it since the 70s. Is the gold there? If not, it could cause the great dystopia. The Great Depression already happened. Nothing right now, because I don't think anything is concrete yet. The buyout I'm referring to. Okay, the buyout. Okay. I thought the federal funding, I thought the federal buyout was done. Wow. How do you feel about that, Shirley? How do you feel about the federal buyout? It says on CNN reported 5 days ago that federal judge lets Trump buyout plan for federal employees proceed. This is 5 days ago. A federal judge in Boston on Wednesday allowed the Trump administration to move forward with the moment with its deferred resignation offer for federal employees. Good morning, Ansel, or afternoon almost. U.S. District Judge George O'Toole said federal employee unions, which brought a lawsuit on behalf of their members, are not directly impacted by the offer, so they lack standing to bring this case. He had previously issued a temporary restraining order against the program. The ruling is a major win for Trump, which has struggled to successfully defend its laws and privacies. Some 77,000 workers accepted the package, right? 77,000 workers accepted the package. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt told reporters on Thursday. The offer will generally allow them to leave their jobs but be paid through the end of September. Though the unions and many workers have said that the information the administration released about the package has conflicting and is confusing. The 77,000 figure represents close to 4% of roughly 2 million federal employees who receive the incentive. However, not all may ultimately be able to take it since the administration exempted some positions after sending the offer. but the number of people in that situation is very low. The White House has said its target is between 5 to 10% of employees to resign on Tuesday. Okay, eligible employees initially had until the end of last Thursday night to apply, but they extended the timeline. So this was actually approved 5 days ago, with 77,000 employees standing up to take this resignation. How do you feel about that? Would you give up your federal job at this point? Oh, look. Marks from my desk. Nobody? Nope. Month of love. Do you still have love for any of your exes? Nope. Nope. I ain't got enough love, enough space in my heart to love my ex. Okay. Month of love. Do y'all still, you came in just in time, Stacy. Month of love. Do y'all still have love for any of your exes? Ansel is asking. Cheryl Lee said, I'm standing in the line right now, but to be honest, I've checked out these last 2 weeks. I have only been trying to keep up with funding for the schools. Okay. Stacy said, good morning. This is a takedown to put only his supporters. Hillbilly says it needs to happen. We have all been asking for it. I just wish the driver was different. Okay. So 10 to 15% of employees are expected to be unemployed from the federal job industry. Okay. Most of their volunteers. Would you volunteer to give up your job? At this age, I'm going to say yes. I would. I would at this age, because how much longer I got to go before I can hit the button on my money? But if I was younger, 20s, 30s, I might not take that offer, because, you know, where you going to go? Corporate America? And then my question is, after you resign and you take a package, how long do you have to wait before you can reapply for a federal job? I know in corporate America, if my company lays me off, I can't reapply to that company for another year. I have to let a year go by. Well, that's a great question. So Stacy said, when we talk about trimming the government, what are the benefits? Great question. What are the benefits? Hillbilly said 1.5 million Social Security recipients are registered as over 150 years old. But how is that possible? When did Social Security start in our country? Let's look this up. When did Social Security start? Social Security, when did Social Security Act was signed in 1935. Taxes were collected the first time. The first one-time lump sum payments were made the same month. Regular ongoing monthly started in January 1940. So 1940, let me say, 1940, good morning, Reginaldo, is when Social Security Act started. Okay, 1935 is when it started, but regular monthly payments, started 1940. Okay. So, um, that's 84 years. So if Social Security payments started 84 years ago, how do we have people collecting for 150 years when Social Security payments had not even started 150 years ago? So that's the thing that baffles me. Where is the proof that he found all these 150 people still collecting Social Security? Where is the proof of that? Because the system should have red flagged that anybody born before 1935, because what the fuck? So how can we have people 150 years old collecting Social Security? It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I said I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I need other people to be smarter than me so that I can learn something. So can somebody explain? That's what I thought. Nobody can explain. This is why the information is so confusing to me. And so I tried to figure out what noise I need to eliminate from social media. It's the same as 5,000 hammers. It's how money is hid and funneled. Exactly. Exactly. These people are not real. Whoever these 150 people are, and again, they have not shown the proof. Okay. Stacy said that is not the government's job, but a broken system with little oversight. Because there should have been a flag. Because how old do you? 150 years old? Let me see something. Shit, they'd have had to been born in the 1800s. The fuck? So keep praying for our daily lives. A lot of people that's under the poverty voted for this government. Every last one of them. I agree, Hillbilly. Our systems are broken, right? And we're gonna see the outcome of this at the end of the 4 years. We should see some impact from this soon. Like, I remember him standing up there saying he's going to bring down the cost of inflation as one of the number one top priorities when he gets into office. And yet, it hasn't been a priority at all. Instead, putting tariffs and stuff on these other countries have now caused you, the consumer, a higher bill when you're ordering shit because some companies are adding the extra um, international shipping cost or tariff cost or whatever. They're offloading it onto the consumer, as we always said was going to happen. So keep that in mind. This is a majority bureaucracy with major corruption, all parties, all levels. And this just did not happen. You said we are mere weeks away. Away from what? Because stop it now. Away from what? Mere weeks away from what? Keep your eyes open. Okay? That's all I have to say. And again, some of the shit is just noise. Some of it might be key information. Just keep your eyes open. That's all I can say. And as Hillbilly and Cheryl Lee said, just be prepared as best as you can. I try to buy canned foods. Every time I shop, I buy some more canned foods and stuff. I just got to stop eating them as fast as I do. But I buy canned foods. I'm going to continue to stock up on Costco has this real good tuna fish by Wild Planet. And it was 15.99, and you got 6 cans. And so you spend almost $3 per can, but the tuna is wild caught. It's made by Wild Planet, and it's not on any recall list that I checked. And it's good. And so I'm gonna go back and get like another couple of tuna fish in the cans because I love tuna, right? Keep them in the cabinets. Baked beans, corn, stuff like that, rice, things that you can make really quickly. I don't need a lot of meat when I cook. I could do without meat as long as I have other things, other substances. I do it like that. You could probably even get potatoes, boil your potatoes and freeze them, stuff like that. I don't know. Right, Stacey. Nobody was checking a damn thing. That's why they're screaming at the Democrats, because they're saying, Democrats, you saw all of this in the account. Nobody checking for this. We wondering where all the money going. Oh, God. Hillbilly, I'm not looking forward to that. I am not. But it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Okay. Stacy said, crazy thing, aesthetic fake press still got major support. We only make up 13.7% of the country. Has the poverty line more lately? What do you mean, Ansel? Has the poverty line more? Has it increased? I know I feel like I'm in poverty, like the middle class is poor. So I want to say it increased because I feel like we eliminated the middle class. Who are the middle class? Because I used to think I was, but the way my life is struggling, because the middle class is taking the pain and the hits of all of these changes. We should make enough money to live comfortably, but we don't, because we're the ones spending $13 for eggs because we don't qualify for food stamps and shit like that to try to help us. Okay? We're the ones paying $2,000 and $3,000 a month rent because we don't get rent subsidy. Okay? I don't know. It's hard out here. I certainly can't apply for all of these programs where they help you pay your electric bill. So when my bill comes on a good day, it could be $200, it could be $300. I've had an electric bill that was $500. Depends on how much air I'm running or what the hell I'm doing in here. Well, all my plant lights, my humidifiers, all that should be going all the time. Okay? The middle class is considered poor, in my opinion. Stacy said, we have always protested, but nothing is targeted or intentional. Everyone's voice becomes dim amongst the plurality. So what is it we need to make sure that our voices are heard? What do we need to make sure our voices are heard? How can we do this the right way? One, we need a leader. And ain't nobody standing up to lead, because all the leaders get threatened and assassinated or attempted to be assassinated. So no one person is standing up saying, I'm going to lead, the Black culture. Because history tells us that doesn't last long. So how do we do it the right way? What do we do? Hillbilly said, when looting happens, shortages get real. Things have gotten so expensive for people that in New York, in some of the bodegas, this came on the news over the weekend. For those that can't afford a dozen of eggs, because that's how bad it's been. For those that can't afford a dozen of eggs, they're going into the bodegas, and the bodegas are selling 3 eggs in a little plastic sandwich bag for like $2, $2.99 or something like that. It has gotten to the point where people are going in and buying eggs like how motherfuckers used to buy Lucy cigarettes. That to me, I would have never imagined people shopping for eggs at the bodega and only getting 3 eggs. It reminds me of when I was growing up, right? I grew up poor, right? I grew up on food stamps. I grew up poor. And my mother used to send me to the store and get $3 worth of meat. Like, get $5 worth of chicken wings, or get $3 worth of ham, or get $2 worth of bologna. We didn't go in the store and say, give me a pound or a half a pound or a quarter pound or whatever. I went to the store and was like, give me $3 worth, give me $2 worth, give me $5 worth. And that's how I shopped for meat, because we had to shop according to how much money we had. And the crazy thing is, when I used to go to the store and ask for $5 in chicken wings, I felt like we got a lot of fucking chicken wings. Like, that was the cheap meal. Like, if you were poor, you were eating chicken wings and you were eating drumsticks. Okay. You wasn't eating no fucking breasts. Okay. You were not. At least we weren't. Okay. And so now today they're saying that chicken wings is the most expensive. Chicken wings is one of the most expensive parts of the chicken. What the fuck? That used to be the cheap meat. Good morning, mother. Hillbilly said, if we bought 1/3 of all produce in America and feed everyone free, it would cost $33 billion a year. Snap spends $78 million a year to feed 15%. Wow. Right, Stacy. We talk about our spending power, but again, we can't even get past simple shit: complexion, religion, economics. $78 billion is what Snap spends. Wow. And it amazes me because a couple of years ago, a whole Jewish family and friends got snagged because they were doing food stamp fraud. And recently, another set of white folks was doing food stamp fraud. And I was like, look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Are we going back to a recession? I never thought we left. I feel like this is a recession. Every time I go to put gas in my car, I want to cry. Okay? And I'm not one to drive around and look for the cheapest gas. I'll be like, I'm just pulling up to the gas station. I'm going to close my eyes and fill this car up because I got to go. I got to drive. Now, unless my man decides that he wants to come get my car and drive it around to go find the cheapest gas, okay. But for me, I got to go. I don't think we left the recession. I think we've been in it since the pandemic. Hillbilly said, if everyone had access to free food, a lot of stress would be resolved, giving better health overall. Well, true, right? But we've already learned and continue to learn that the food in the United States of America is raggedy as fuck. They sell shit here that they don't sell in other countries, right? They have ingredients, that red dye 40, and a lot of our stuff is not good. And then we wonder how come people magically, like a lot of people that get sick and get cancer, and they'll be like, I don't even smoke. I don't even drink. I eat healthy. How the fuck did I get cancer? One, cancer cells are in all of our bodies inactive, right? And then two, it almost makes me wonder some of the shit that's in our food. Is it triggering these illnesses, these surprise illnesses that do not run in our family, that we just arbitrarily caught them? Where are they coming from? And how come in other countries, the West Indies and places like this, people are living past their hundreds? But here, we hear every day, somebody had a stroke at 60. My cousin just had a third stroke. My mother told me the other day. Now, I'm 58, so I would think maybe she is 64, 65. Mother, I'm not sure how old she is, but she should be around 64, 65. This is her third stroke. And in the meantime, she takes care of her mom, who also had a stroke, and who's been living in a rehab center for a while, right? But when you yourself have health conditions, it's hard for you to take care of someone else, right? Because it might trigger some shit in you. And she's on her third stroke right now. And so sending out prayers for her. But we just often wonder why in this country a lot of us get sick unexplainably. Fancy said, I believe it's in the food. I'm agreeing. Hillbilly said, raw foods only, no boxed or processed foods will be free. Even the raw foods have been problematic, right? If you're not growing your own, how often do you turn on the TV, or if you have a food recall app on your phone, how often do you get an alert that lettuce is recalled? I get it a lot. When I go to the store and I'm shopping for salad, I be like, oh my God. It's like I have to pray over it, because I'm like, oh my God. I have been buying butter lettuce and arugula because I don't know. Romaine lettuce makes me nervous. Okay. Because that's always on a recall list. Okay. Um, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, I love Captain Crunch with berries. That shit. And I guarantee you, if I go get the box from my cabinet, right, and read the ingredients, I guarantee you it has that red dye 40 in it. I guarantee you. So we got to watch what we eat. All these chickens with the bird flu, right? There's a video circulating around social media where they are dumping all these chickens in the landfill that are contaminated with this bird virus, okay? And it makes you wonder, when you're cooking or when you crack an egg, what's happening? The pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides are the number one toxin in our lives. Herbicide is an Agent Orange. So be careful out there, and make sure you are downloading the app called Recall Alert. I believe that's what it's called. Let me see. It's called Food Recalls. That's the app. Download it to your phone. As the food is being recalled, they send you an alert. They'll let you know what brands it is, what stores are impacted by it, etc. Okay? Keep yourself in the know. It was said today that EBT can no longer be used to buy sugary drinks. Oh, I wonder how they're going to control that. How are they going to control sugary drinks? You mean to tell me that, what are they going to buy then? No juice? Because I mean, Everything has sugar in it, right? So they can only drink water? That's going to be interesting. Now, I did hear something a while back that they were going to stop EBT recipients from buying stuff like crabs and lobsters and shit like that. And I was having this conversation with AG, and he said, well, why the fuck do we care what they buy? I was like, because maybe the food won't last the whole month if they're spending it on crab and lobster, right, when they get their food stamps. And he said, so what? That's their business. And I was like, that's true. It is really their business. So, do you agree with the federal agencies controlling what people can buy with their EBT? How do you feel about that? I'm asking. How do you feel about that? That's true, Stacy. Money. We keep the pharmaceutical companies in business because they will put you on a pill, right? But don't want to take your ass off the pill. Now, I made my mistake and I tried to take myself off of my high blood pressure pill when I was at my mother's house in Florida. I was there for about 3 weeks. 2 weeks or a week into that trip, I wasn't feeling myself. And my mother just arbitrarily said, take your pressure. My pressure was 180 over 100. And she was like, get your pills. I had them with me and I took them and I was scared because it took about 2 weeks for the pills to regulate my pressure. And I never told my doctor that I did that because I was nervous, right? And so I knew for sure that that is the one pill that I need to commit myself to, unfortunately. But that's the only pill that I am prescribed outside of, I do have a prescription for Pepsid, right? Because my digestive tract is very bad and I'm supposed to take those twice a day, but I don't. I take them as needed. And that's it. I don't have any other prescriptions. Okay. And so I try to keep it that way. Clean water has all been brought up. Water is the next weapon to be used against us. Well, they still ain't clean the water in Flint, right? And nobody is talking about it anymore. It was such an outrage in Flint when the water was brown. And people like Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, has a water company and he donates a lot of water to places that do not have clean water. So kudos to you, Jaden, right? But from a state and federal level, what has been done to address the issues in Flint with their water? Nothing that I'm aware of, unless somebody on here has information that I'm not aware of. Right? What happened to the fight and the protests to get Flint good water? And yet now we're on another protest and another protest. It's like we have ADHD. So I'm just asking, right? We got a lot of stuff going on in the world today. And a lot of stuff that we need to be paying attention to. Shirley said, let those folks budget their own money. Not really. They should be able to regulate someone else's choice of diet as long as it's food. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. That's their business. Let them motherfuckers buy what they want to buy. They found out no water is clean and you can't filter out chemicals. I know New Jersey water stinks. Okay, New Jersey water stinks. I live by bottled water. Okay, I do cook with my New Jersey water, right? I make my coffee with filtered water, but like Hillbilly said, you can't filter out all the chemicals, so you're still gonna get some. Even the plants hate it. Like if you have house plants and your water sucks like mine, I literally fill up my water thing that I used to water my plants with, if I remember. And I let the water sit out for like 24 hours so that, the chemicals and stuff could settle down or release themselves, right? If you look it up, it says that that's helpful. And I use that to water my plants because some of these plants be like, you can see it in the leaves, you can see it in the dirt. The water is shitty. Mother, yes, your water smells bad too, like New Jersey's water. It smelled like I remember one of my apartments, the ice used to smell like garlic. And I was like, So I had them turn the ice maker off on my refrigerator because I was like, it tastes like garlic. Now, thank God my current refrigerator has a filtration system. And even though it doesn't filter out all the chemicals, the water tastes way better than when you don't have it filtrated at all. Okay? Do the best we can. We do the best we can. So with that, folks, today is Tuesday. And it's going to be one of them weeks that kind of fly by for me because, again, I started packing. This morning, I thought we were going to cancel our Jamaica trip. But they were like, you can't cancel because you're only a few days away from leaving. So you'll lose all your money. So we can't lose the money. And so I'm going to continue to pack for my trip. All of my clothes and shit is sitting right here on top of my suitcase. All I got to do is throw in a couple of underwear just in case I need them. I always carry them just in case, but I don't really be bothered with them on vacation because who's looking up my dress? And my toiletries need to go in there. All right. I already have my passport, and yay for me, I have global entry. Yes. Yes for me in global entry. I was going to do the TSA pre-approved, but when I realized global entry came with TSA pre-approved, I just went for global entry and went to the airport and I did my interview and my card has arrived and I activated my card. And so traveling for the first time with global entry, this is going to be an experience. I want to see how pleasurable this is going to be. And in April, when I go to Grenada, we both have global entry. So this will be interesting, okay, to see us fly through the security lines. All right, I love that. So if you don't have global entry and you do travel internationally a lot, then get it. It's $120. Don't waste the money on TSA because I think that's $70. You might as well just pay $120 and get everything. That's just my opinion. Okay, so I carry the card, it's with my passport card, and then I have my passport separate, right? Because when I travel, some people always ask, when you leave the resort or when you do whatever, whether you're on a cruise or whatever, do you carry a passport on you? No, I don't. I keep my passport locked up in the safe, but I always have my passport card on me. Okay. And now I always have my passport card and my global entry card on me. So if anything happens and I cannot get back to my hotel where my passport is, at least I do have official government ID that I can go to the embassy with and get a temporary passport to travel back. So these are things that you need to start thinking about. Make sure you have your paperwork because some people don't want to pay extra for the passport card. But for me, that's a level of extra security. In case something happens, you have a form of government ID. All right. That's my little tidbit. Okay. That's my little tidbit. Okay. And so with that, y'all, I'm going to move forward to ending the show. I got a meeting at 1:00, but today's message was, I have to see the love that is present right now. And in this message, it talked about us being confused about love because we want to spend time with someone or because we want to be with someone. We confuse ourselves what love really is. And so sometimes, it says it is perfectly natural and normal for a human being to want the companionship of another human being. And that's the reason why a lot of us end up in relationships that are toxic, because some of us are just yearning to be in relationships with another human being. Okay. We want to be honored. We want to be respected. We want all these things. But then sometimes we choose a person just because of the things that we want, and we end up in these toxic relationships, and we confuse love with just wanting the attention of being with someone. And that's not the case. And so love doesn't necessarily mean you have to be with that person every single day, every 5 minutes. Love is much more than that. And love is something that you constantly need to work on. Like I mentioned earlier, do temperature checks in your relationships. Everything could be going fine, but we as humans, we hold a lot of stuff in, right? And then sometimes we let all that stuff build up. And then the first argument, we explode about all this shit that our partner was not aware of. And so what I'm trying to do is do check-ins every couple of months. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about us? Do you feel that we're on track? Is there some changes you think you want to see? And then I'll give my input, how I feel about them. If there's some changes I would like to see, if some things have been done that doesn't really align to the things that work for me. Like, this is the time you have your conversations, your check-in conversations. If you are with someone and you cannot have these type of conversations every few months, 3-4 times a year, whatever the case, if you do it every quarter, then you're not with the right person. You're not. Okay. And so just keep that shit in mind. And always remember that loving starts with self-love. Who are you? Know who you are. Know what you want. All right. Love yourself initially first. That's how you attract the love from others, right? Because people can sniff out someone that does not love themselves. And those would be the ones that end up in the toxic relationships. I know. I've been there. I spent time not loving myself, not believing I was worthy of more. But that's not where I am today in my life. Today in my life, I know that I'm worthy of more. And I still have internal battles with myself, and I stop myself and I go, nope, you are worthy of more. You deserve more. Okay? That's it. And that's how I'm navigating right now. And I'm going to tell you, it feels different for me because I feel like for all of my other relationships, I felt so masculine. I felt like I had to be so strong, right? Like I had to stand in the front. Like, I don't want that. I want to be soft. I'm a girly girl by nature, so I will build up resentment real fast in a relationship if I feel like I'm the aggressor. If I feel like I'm the taking charge person, if I feel like I'm the one that's navigating us or whatever the case may be, I will get real discouraged in a relationship and I will hold resentment. I've learned that about myself. So I know that I need a partner that has the ability to take charge, to lead the relationship where it's going. That doesn't mean that I'm behind, okay, walking behind them. It just means that this person is taking charge and allowing me to walk in my feminine era, to allow me to be soft. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel that right now. I'm in my soft era, okay? I'm in my feminine era, and I like it. I never was there before, okay? And I like it. And so I know that I am working on getting everything that I deserve. All right. And when you stumble on something that you thought you deserved, and then you realize that this is not for you, don't be afraid to leave it behind. That's self-love. When we keep going back to shit that's not giving us what we need, you are missing the mark on loving yourself. That's just my opinion. They're like assholes. Everybody got one, but that's mine. All right. And so with that, y'all, I forgot to play my song when y'all came in, but I won't forget to play the song going out. I want you guys to continue to move with peace and love. And remember, whatever battles you choose to fight them consistently, fight them with proper information. And for all those that are out there talking about teach me this and teach me that, and somebody needs to teach me and explain shit, no. Go and fucking do your research, okay? Stop relying on people on Facebook to educate you, okay? Go and do your research. If you want to know what Trump is doing and how it impacts you, go and research that shit. If you want to know what the fuck Kendrick Lamar's concert was about, go and research that shit. Like, do the research. That's the first step. Okay? Wait, Stacy said, how about I need to stumble on something dry over here? Stacy, it is dry like the desert in a lot of places, okay? I don't know how I stumbled upon. Listen, my stumble was a happenstance. I don't know, because I wasn't even outside looking. I really wasn't, but I never looked for a relationship. I don't. I've never been, I guess, single long enough for me to get into a space where I felt like I had to look for a relationship. I was single 3 years, at a little over 3 years at one point. This last time I was single for a year and a half. And I don't even remember whether I missed having a relationship. I don't remember, right? But when I started to date and go out, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, this ain't so bad. And my mom said to me, she was like, Robin, you are so lucky. And I was like, why you say that? And she was like, you always find a significant other. You always find somebody. And I'm like, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I was fortunate. And the crazy thing is, most people that I find or I end up dating, I know them either through somebody else or I met them through somebody else. I know it's never really been, I don't think I've ever dated, well, I'm lying. Well, my husband, my ex-husband that I married in 1992, he was a stranger, but he went to school where I worked. So we kind of developed like a relationship before we start dating, and so I do feel like one of the best ways in meeting people is through somebody else, or after you've built up a friendship with them and then maybe y'all start liking each other and stuff like that. I don't know. But dating out here in this world is trash right now. So I can understand why it's dry over there, Stacy. But also, I'm gonna put out there what my son told me one time. My son said to me, Mom, you are single. This is when I was single for about 3 years. You work from home. He said, you think somebody's gonna walk past the building and be like, oh, there's this single girl upstairs on the third floor, the top floor of her building, waiting for somebody to ask her on a date. He said it ain't gonna happen. They don't know you here. You gotta go out. You gotta put yourself out there. And I was like, go out where? Like where? I don't want to go to a club and meet nobody. I don't want to do this and meet nobody. He was like, well, how are you gonna meet people? And I was like, oh. So I'm just putting it out there for those that are saying it's dry. You got to go outside. Got to go outside and even be more active on social media. I don't know. That's just a little tidbit. But with that, y'all, I'm going to send y'all on your way. But I'll come back tomorrow, y'all. I'm trying to get into the office. And I'm trying to debate whether tomorrow's going to be the day I go into the office or not. I'm not sure yet, but y'all might see me tomorrow. You might not. If you don't see me tomorrow, it's because I decided to go into the office, okay? Hillbilly's message, as always, is be diligent and be prepared, all right? And with that, I'm going to send y'all out with the vibes, because even when you feel low, oh, what happened? It don't want to play, y'all.
Even when you feel low, you can still
There you
go.
go.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
And I don't, y'all. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am Roy to Debo. Come back tomorrow. I might be here, y'all. Move with peace and love. And remember, love yourself. Shit.
Every single day, I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
Hey.
To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range. 'Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief.
Hey.
They see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy.
Come on.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
Huh?
Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Hey.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
I never answer to no man, I still go. And I don't, y'all. I'm out. Peace and blessings. Huh?